What's up, YouTube? So I decided to make these videos just to correct Apple Soldier. Not necessarily to hate on him or put him down necessarily, but just to correct him of some things that he said that were false. And maybe he knows these things, or maybe he accidentally said it. Who knows? So we're going to go through about 3 videos. Only one of the videos are we going to watch the whole video, but 2 of the 3 we're only going to watch a few seconds of it. So let's get started. So the first one is this video here, and we'll go to full view. Okay.
Getting a lot of comments.
And let's go here, and right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and watch this video.
Always claim they can build something cheaper and better. And the guy says, fail, the DS305W from Dell, OEM, $800, $960 retail. Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about, $800 OEM. The cheapest I found that display was $980 on buy.com. When I go to Dell.com, it's $1,200. Okay, and as you can see, it's 16 by 10. Here's the iMac specs. Here's the Dell specs. It's 16 by 10. The iMac is 16 by 9. The image brightness is 300 CDM2 here. The iMac is 375 CDM2. So the iMac's brighter, got a brighter display. So this right here is not the same as this. This has a mini display. So don't even come up.
So he's saying that, well, let's actually continue real quick, sorry.
Across like this is the same thing of the same quality, because it's not, and it's, look at the price of the thing.
Yes, it's still a great display, because Dell makes wonderful displays, but so does Apple. So he says here that the iMac or Cinema Display on your left, this Apple, has a mini port display, and this Dell doesn't, which means that it doesn't have as good quality. First off, they don't put mini display ports on basically like PC type monitors or like Dell, HP. They don't use mini display port. They use VGA. VGA and mini display port are about the same. They're same quality. Doesn't mean because Apple has mini display ports and this Dell has VGA. Doesn't mean that the Apple one is any better because of the port. Apple created that port for a reason, because that's what they use. That's what they want to use. They don't want to use VGA. It's their way of connection. So it doesn't mean that it's any better than the Dell. Now the specs on this I think 27-inch iMac is better than the display on your right, but as far as VGA versus mini display port, they're about the same. I think they are the same. All right, next video. All right, so this is just a small clip right here, and I'm just gonna show it to you. It kind of bothers me here the way I haven't watched all the videos from this Mac versus PC debate thing, but this part here really bothers me.
And I realized Adobe PC posted another video to me. That's what that noise was. But in all seriousness, guys.
So he was basically talking about the way someone's voice talks, the way that someone talks. I mean, you can clearly tell the way he talks. Talks like he hasn't even hit puberty yet. But anyways, aside from that, let's go to the final video. This is a long one. We're gonna watch basically the whole video. Let's actually go into a minute here. Alright, so let's go.
You get all upset, but as soon as you feel the need to attack somebody, it's justified. And the reason I'm making this video here is to explain to the viewers.
There goes that voice again.
That the reason I made those 2 videos is because Zoll is trying to sell to the world that his custom-built i7 is just as good as a Mac Pro. And I'm not going to let him do that because it's a complete lie. He can spread all the lies he wants. He can say the Xeon is exactly the same as the i7. He can say the i7 outperforms the Xeon. He can say...
does the i7 outperform the Xeon? You gotta be careful which i7 you're talking about, because the i7 Extreme will blow away the Xeon. But in this case, we'll just say that he's talking about the i7, the regular i7 versus the Xeon. The Xeon is made for servers. Basically, when Intel created them, their main purpose was for servers. So they're going to carry more cache, not cache like money, of course. I think the Xeons have about 12 megabytes of cache, maybe a little bit more, maybe 14 megabytes of cache. And the i7, I think, only has 6 or 8 megabytes of cache. So the Xeons are a little bit quicker. They're both quad cores. As far as threads, I think that the i7 might beat the Xeon. I could be wrong. Should look that up. Anyways, let's continue.
Yes, he can say that. But there is nothing on this God's green planet that's ever going to convince me that he's going to build a computer to match the Mac Pro.
You can technically build a PC with the same specs, if not better, than the Mac Pro. The Mac Pro is not the fastest computer in the world. We could build custom. I'm not sure if this is true, but I was at Fry's one time, and this guy walks in and asks one of the employee if they made motherboards that can hold 2 i7s. And the employee said, yes, we have actually a board that's made by, I kind of forgot, it starts with an A. But yeah, so I don't know if it's true, but that's what I've heard when the guy asked, so yeah, just saying.
Mac Pro is an engineering marvel, guys. I mean, no matter how you look at it, you're still getting a bunch of parts from different places and putting it together. You know, you don't have the warranty. We went all over this. The Mac Pro...
The parts do have the warranty. When you build a custom machine, they do have a warranty on them.
Pro is a really, really well-built machine.
It is a very well-built machine.
And just because you have a custom-built PC with the same specs does not mean it's as good as the Mac Pro. What don't you understand about it?
Well, technically, if it has the same specs, it's basically the same thing. The only difference is the case and the OS, obviously. Mac OS 10 versus Windows.
About that. You only look at specs, and there's more to computers than specs.
I have to agree with this 100%. There is more to computers than just specs. You can have the best computer in the whole entire world, but if you don't have a good OS, there is no point, because the OS operating system is what unleashes the power of those specs. Now, both Windows and Mac OS 10, no matter how you look at it, they're both going to unleash the full power of your computer. Now, if you're running like 32-bit on a computer with 6 gigs of RAM, a quad core, you're not going to get that full power. You're going to want to run 64-bit. So, on that case, it's not using the full power of your PC or your Mac.
Okay, there's a lot to computers besides just the specs that are in there. And that's what I'm having a hard time getting you PC guys to understand. Well, we have an i7 in ours, so it's just as good as the Mac Pro. Well, we have this, we have that, but I don't know how else to prove to you that your little custom-built PCs are not the same thing.
They can be the same thing. Again, Mac Pro isn't like the God where it's the highest specs machine that you can go out there and buy. There are PCs that you can build that will destroy the Mac Pro.
They don't have the little extras that this Mac Pro has. You can say Xeons are the same as an i7 all you want, but they're not. Low price.
I have to agree with this also. The Xeons are not the same as an Intel Core i7.
It's an HP workstation with a Xeon in it. Go see how much they cost, okay? I don't care if you think they're the same or not. The Xeon computers, in general, are more expensive than the i7s. And unless I don't care if it's just $200. I don't care if it's $30 more for the chip and $150 extra for the motherboard. I don't care if altogether it's just $200. That's $200. And if you're not including a Xeon...
Let's skip a little forward. Let's go to about right there.
That the thing can't handle it. I've had this thing rendering at max speed.
Let's scoot back a little because this is where I want to get to.
Now, it is no Mac Pro. And I own both. I own both, and I speak out of first-hand experience.
He owns both iMac and Mac Pro.
It is no Mac Pro. I can leave my Mac Pro going for days and days and days, and I won't even think about it. It won't even cross my mind that the thing can't handle it.